All right, Rules of the House of Representatives, Rule 11, Clause 3. Meetings and hearings, committee shall adopt rules provided for all the meetings and hearings of the committee for the subcommittee thereon, other than any hearing of the adjudicatory subcommittee, any sanction hearing held by the committee shall occur with the executive session, unless for the committee or subcommittee by an affirmative vote of the majority of the members open the meeting and the hearing to the public, and the hearing held with the adjudicatory subcommittee. Any sanctioned hearing held by the committee shall be open in public unless the committee, subcommittee, or subcommittee by affirmative vote of the majority of its members close the hearing to the public. Public disclosure. The committee shall adopt the rules providing, unless otherwise determined by the vote of the committee, only with the chairman and ranking minority member, after consultation with each other, make public statements regarding the matters before the committee and subcommittee thereof. The requirements of the council with the complaint. The committee shall adopt the rules regarding complaints if they provide whenever the information offered of the complaint is submitted for the committee for the chair of the ranking minority member shall have 14 calendar days, 5 legislative days, whichever as soon as it determined whether the information meets the requirements of the rules of the committee for which constitute the complaint. The duties of the chair of the ranking minority members regarding properly filed complaints. The committee shall adopt rules providing with whenever the chair of the ranking minority member jointly determine the information submitted to the committee meets with the requirements of the rules of the committee would constitute with the complaint. They shall have the 45 calendar days, 5 legislative days, whichever is later, after the determination, unless the committee have the affirmative vote with the majority of the members of votes, otherwise to the recommended of the committee, that is, with the disposal of the complaint, any portion thereof, any matter that does not require action. The House is included with the dismissal of the complaint, resolution of the complaint by the letter of the member, delegate, resident, commissioner, officer of the employee of the House against the complaint is made, establish investigated subcommittee, or request the committee extend with the applicable 45 calendar day, 5 legislation day period with one additional 45 calendar day period. When determining more time is necessary in order to make a recommendation or under the subdivision A, the committee shall adopt the rules provided for the chair of the ranking minority member of the jointly determine the information submitted to the committee meets for the requirements of the rules of the committee with the constitute with the complaint. But the complaint is not disposed of within the applicable time periods under the subparagraph 1, then they shall establish an investigative subcommittee and forward the complaint to, or any portion thereof, to the subcommittee for its consideration. However, if at any time during this period either of the chair of the ranking member places of the agency issue whether the established investigative subcommittee, then investigative subcommittee may be established only by the affirmative vote with the majority of the members of the committee. Duty of the chair of the ranking minority member regarding information for the constituting of a complaint. The committee shall adopt the rules providing whenever the chair of the ranking minority member jointly determine the information submitted to the committee does not meet with the requirements of the rules of the committee with the counsel with the complaint. They may 1. Return information to the complaint with a statement if it fails to meet with the requirements of the rules of the committee for the counsel with the complaint, and or 2. Recommend the committee for the authorized the establishment investigation subcommittee, investigation injunctionary subcommittee. The committee shall adopt the rules providing 1A. Investigative subcommittee shall be composed of the member delegates of the resident commissioner equal of the representation majority and minority parties whenever such a committee is subcommittee is established pursuant to the rules of the committee. The junctionary subcommittee shall be composed of the members committee with the Weedy Johnson with the pertinent investigative subcommittee with the equal representation majority and minority parties whenever such a subcommittee is established pursuant to the rules of the committee, notwithstanding any other provisions of the call of the chair of the ranking minority member of the committee may consult investigative subcommittee either on either initiative, but the initiative subcommittee shall act with the information before the subcommittee which of the consult shall not thereby be precluded serving as a full member of any adjunctionary subcommittee at any time of appointment. Chair shall designate one member subcommittee to serve the chair of the ranking minority member to designate with one member of the subcommittee to serve the ranking minority member, and chair ranking minority member of the committee that may serve as a member of the investigating subcommittee but may not serve as non-voting ex officio members. Sharing proof of adoption of the statement of alleged violation. The committee shall adopt the rules provided for the investigative subcommittee may adopt the statement of alleged violation only if the determining of the affirmative vote of the majority of the members of the subcommittee that there is a substantial reason to believe that the violation of the code of official conduct or law, rule, regulation, or other standard conduct applicable to the performance of official duties to the discharge of the official representative by a member of the delegate, resident, commissioner, officer for the employee of the House of Representatives has occurred. Subcommittee powers. The committee shall adopt the rules providing the investigative subcommittee to injunctionary subcommittee may authorize issue subpoenas only when authorized by the affirmative vote with a majority of the members of the subcommittee. Committee shall adopt rules providing an investigative subcommittee may, upon affirmative vote with a majority of the members, expand the scope of the investigation with approved by affirmative vote with a majority of the members of the committee. The committee shall adopt the rules provided that a investigative subcommittee may, upon affirmative vote with a majority of its members and its statements alleged violations any time before the statement of alleged violation transmitted to the committee. The investigation subcommittee amends the statement of alleged violation. Responding shall not be notified in writing, shall have 30 calendar days day of the notification following answer amended statement of the alleged violation. Due process rights of respondent. The committee shall adopt the rules to provide no less than 10 calendar days before scheduled vote with the investigative subcommittee with the statement of alleged violation. Subcommittee shall provide with a respondent with a copy of the statement of alleged violation. Intends to adopt it together with all evidence intends of the proof of the charges which intends to adopt, including the document and jury evidence of the witness testimony, memorandum of witness interviews, physical evidence, unless the subcommittee with the affirmative vote with a majority of its members to decide withhold certain evidence in order to protect the witness, but in such evidence as withheld, the subcommittee shall inform the respondent of the evidence being withheld of the count with such evidence relates neither the respondent nor the counsel of the respondent shall directly and indirectly contact subcommittee or any member thereof during the period of time set forth in paragraph 1, except for the sole purpose of the settlement discussion where the counsel for the respondent subcommittee are present, if any time of the issuance of the statement of alleged violation of the committee with any subcommittee therefore determined the intent of the evidence not provided for the respondent on paragraph 1 to prove charges containing the statement of alleged violation or any of the amendment thereof shall the evidence shall be made immediately available to the respondent. It may be used in any further proceeding under the rules of the committee for evidence pursued with the paragraph 1 or 3 shall be made available to the respondent or the counsel of the respondent only after each of the agrees from the writing of the no document information and other materials obtained pursuant with this paragraph shall be made public until such time the statement of alleged violation is made public by committee where the respondent has waived the injunctionary hearing, or b, the commencement of the injunctionary hearing respondent has not waived the injunctionary hearing, but the failure to respond with the counsel of the respondent agree in writing of the consequent failure to receive the evidence shall not preclude the issuance of statement of alleged violation end of the period preferred in paragraph 1 of the respondent shall receive the notice whenever the chairman, ranking minority member determining the information the committee has received the constituted complaint. A complaint or allegation is transmitted to investigative subcommittee. The investigative subcommittee votes to authorize the first subpoena or take the testimony under oath whichever occurs first, or investigate subcommittee votes for expanding the scope of its investigation whenever the investigation subcommittee adopts that statement of alleged violation of the respondent into the agreement with the subcommittee to settle the complaint with a statement the basis of the agreement unless the respondent requests otherwise shall have it in writing and signed by the respondent counsel of the chair with the ranking minority member of the subcommittee, outside counsel, if any of the statement of information derived solely for the respondent with the counsel responding during any statement and discussion between the committee and subcommittee thereof. The respondent shall be not to be included with the report of the subcommittee or the committee or the otherwise publicly disclosed without consent of the respondent, and whenever the motion established with the investigative subcommittee does not prevail, the committee shall promptly send a letter to the respondent informing the respondent of such vote. Committee reporting requirements. Committee shall adopt the report rules to provide whenever the investigative subcommittee does not adopt the statement of alleged violation transparent of a report in effect of the committee, but the committee may be an affirmative vote with the majority of the members transmit such a report to the House of Representatives. Whenever an investigative subcommittee adopts a statement of alleged violation of the respondent admits the violation set forth in such a statement, the respondent waives the right to the injunctionary hearing, and the respondent waivers is approved by the committee. The subcommittee shall prepare the report transmittal committee with the final draft of which with provided with the respondent not less than 15 calendar days before the subcommittee votes on whether to adopt the report. The respondent may submit views in the writing regarding the final draft of the subcommittee within 7 calendar days of the receipt of the draft. The subcommittee shall transmit with a report of the committee regarding the statement of alleged violation together with any of the views submitted with the response of the pursuant subdivision B. With the committee shall make the report together with the respondent views. Bill for the public hearing with the commencement any sanction here with the committee shall provide the affirmative vote with the majority of the members issue the report transmit such a report to the House of Representatives together with the respondent views previously submitted for the purpose of the subdivision B. Any additional views with the respondent may submit with the attachment of the final report. Members of the committee shall have not less than 72 hours of review report with the transmitted to the committee with the investigative subcommittee, but before both the commencement and sanction hearing of the committee vote on the web of the top of the report. Upon report receive any written notification board over the official Congress act of the board with the undertaking the review of the alleged conduct with any member delegate with the resident commissioner officer of the employee of the House of the committee is investigating such matter of the committee made any time so with the notified of the board request of the board ceases to its review refer to the matter to the committee for its consideration at the end of the applicable time period including any permissible extension of the committee has not reached a final resolution, and if it does not refer to the matter of appropriate federal state authorities, committee shall notify the Board of Ethics, Office of the Congressional Ethics, and the writing committee may not request the same matter of the board more than one time. In addition, with the receipt of the writing notification, official congressional ethics under subparagraph 1 of the committee shall adopt the rules providing process with the receipt of the public outside of the information offered. If the complaint, the process shall include the establishment, method of the submission of each of the information committee in an electronic form, and the committee may not take any action that would deny any person any right of the protection provided under the Constitution of the United States. Audiovisual coverage of committee proceedings for the purpose of the call of the provide means conformity with the acceptance of the dignity, propriety, the decorum by the committee hearing with the committee meetings that are open to the public may be covered by the audiovisual means with the education and enlightenment of the information of the general public made for the accurate of the impartial news coverage regarding the operation perceived of the practice of the House of Legislative Representation body with regarding the measure of the publication of the other matters before the House's committee with the consideration of their action taken thereof for the development of the perspective of the understanding of the general public with respect to the rule of the function House of the Constitution, institution of the federal government edition. It's intended for the call of the audio video recordings or with any of the coverage under the list of the cause that may not be used for any of the partisan political campaign purposes or may be available for such use. And further, the intent of the call of the general conduct of each of the meeting, whether of the hearing or otherwise coverage with the authority for the call of the audio and visual meaning of the personal behavior of the committee members of the staff of the government official of the personal witness of the television, radio, of the press meeting, of the personnel of the general public hearing, and the other meetings shall be in strict conformity with observance of the acceptable standard of the dignity, proprietary courtesy, and the decorum traditionally observed in the House. For its operation may not be such, but is distorted with the object of the purpose hearing meeting of the activity of the committee members of the connection with the hearing of the meeting with the connection with the general work of the committee of the House, the each of the cast discredit of the dishonor of the House, the committee of the member delegate of the resident commissioner bringing the House, the committee of the member delegate of the resident commissioner into disrepute. Coverage of the committee hearing with the meeting with the audiovisual means shall be permitted with the conducted in strict with the conformity, purpose, provision, and requirements of this cause whenever the hearing with the meeting is conducted by a committee, subcommittee, opening with the public. The proceeding shall be opened with the coverage of the audiovisual means with the committee, with the subcommittee, with the chair, with the may not limit the number of television still cameras fewer than 2 representatives for each medium except for the legislative legitimate space of safety consideration, which in case of the pool coverage shall be authorized rules adopted by each of the committee pursuant to the clause 2A1D shall contain the provision of following effect. If the audio and visual coverage of the hearing of the meeting is presented to the public, the live coverage of the coverage shall be conducted with the presented without commercial sponsorship. The allocation among the television media of the position number of the television cameras permitted by the committee of the subcommittee chair of the hearing meeting room shall be in accordance with a fair, equitable procedure of the devised of the executive committee of the radio, television, correspondent galleries. Television cameras shall be placed as not to obstruct any way of the space between the witness given in evidence testimony, any member of the committee with the visibility of the witness and the member of each other. Television cameras shall operate from a fixed position, may not be placed in the position obstructively unnecessary for the coverage of the hearing or meeting by other media. The equipment necessary for the coverage of the television, radio, media may not be installed in and removed from the hearing or meeting room while committee is in session, except as is provided in subdivision view with the floodlights, spotlights, strobe lights, and flashlights. Flash guns may not be used in providing any methodology coverage of the hearing or meeting. The television media be installed with additional lighting hearing of the meeting room without cost for the government in order to raise the lighting level of the hearing of the meeting room at the lowest level necessary to provide adequate television coverage of the hearing of the meeting of the current state with the art of the television coverage. If the requests are made by more than media will be permitted with the committee, subcommittee charge for the coverage of the hearing of the meeting, still photograph, photography coverage shall be permitted with the basis of fair, equitable pool arrangement that divides for the standing committee of the press photographer. The photographers may be position themselves between the witness table and the members of the committee at any time during the course of the hearing of the meeting. Photographs may not be placed themselves in position obstructively unnecessary with the coverage of the hearing by other media. Personal providing coverage by the television, radio, media shall be currently accredited with the radio, television, correspondent galleries. Personal providing still photography may be currently accredited with the press photography gallery. Personal providing coverage with the television, radio, media, and by still photography should conduct themselves by their coverage activities in an orderly and unobstructed manner. Pay of witnesses. Witnesses appearing in the House of any of the committee shall be paid with the same per diem rate with the travel shall be authorized regularly with the committee House of the Administrative of the members delegate resident commissioner of the employee of the House of the per actual expense for the travel to and from the place of the examination. Such per diem may not be paid when a witness has been summoned to add a place of the examination. Unfinished business in the session. All business of the House is the end. One of the session shall be resumed at the commencement of the next session of the same Congress in the same manner as no adjournment had been taken place. Rule 12. Receipt, referral, and measure matters.